Sean Tucker's performance, over 100 yards receiving and rushing, 5 total touchdowns?
I thought it was outstanding. It was good to see him finish some runs and then also be extremely explosive in the throw game and being able to get those balls to the middle of the field and turn those passes into home runs. It was awesome.
So we got two in back, we got Mario, then Mark right next to each other. Right back there. How difficult a week was this for you?
This week was taxing. There's no doubt about it. But I think the kids, they really picked me up. You know, they let it go a little bit faster than coaches do. I'm not sure I've let it go yet, but they do a really good job of keeping me in the right frame of mind. And this is a good ball club with a good senior leadership, and we're going to see where that leadership is going to take us.
Coach, you said this week that you were going to determine a starting quarterback. What did you learn just watching on the field?
That I think we got two good ones. I think we got two that got some skill, and we'll go back and check the tape, and we'll make some decisions.
The fact that Garrett finished out the game, does that mean anything?
Absolutely not.
Right here to Mike.
Hey, Dino, right here. I know you never want to be without one of your best players in Taj Harris, but what did his absence show you about your quarterback specifically?
Well, the ball got to go around to a lot more other guys, and I thought a lot more other guys were involved, which was good to see. And you guys got an opportunity to see those young guys, which everybody wanted to see. Now, with that, you saw, penalties and things like that, guys missing signals, and that's what happens when they're young, and they're occasionally great and not consistently good. We've got to find a way to get maturity in that group so they can help us, but it does take time.
Coach, over here. You said that this week would be trying to figure out who the starting quarterback would be potentially, and you just said how both played really good. But with Sean Tucker, why did you keep deciding to give him the ball in the first half? What were you seeing on some of those outside zone runs that were, just making him get a lot of space in the open field?
It's interesting how he had more space in the first half based off of some things that were going on in the throwing game. There's such a balance. You can take things away. Those guys, defensive coaches, offensive coaches, it's a chess game out there. So there's things that can be taken away, but when you're hitting some passes and you're getting the ball pushed downfield a little bit, kind of opens up some of those running lanes inside.
Dino, given you had kind of personnel advantages at a lot of places on the field today, how much can you learn about your quarterbacks today? Or how much of it is just like it's time to make a choice and,
You can learn a lot. That's why I have to go back and check the tape. There's certain things that they need to be doing on certain plays. Now, if they don't do those things and they turn around and put the ball somewhere else and their success, yeah, that's good for the average fan. But when we're looking at the technical things, the things that are going to matter when the competition is not like that. Competitional advantage, a competitive advantage maybe this week, but there's going to be weeks when it's going to be even. There's going to be weeks when the opponents have a better advantage when it comes to personnel. So we need to be technically right. So those are the things we'll go back and look at.
when you leave here today, do you feel like you know who it is, or is it close enough that you really have to look at the tape?
It's fair enough that I need to go back and look at the tape. It's not something that you want to do on emotion. You want to take the emotion completely out of it, even though it's a very emotional decision.
Coach, we saw Andre Schmidt set the career field goal record here today. Just considering everything he's accomplished since he came here as a walk-on, I just wonder if you could share some thoughts on seeing him get the record here today.
You know, the things I think, when I think about Andre, I think about the very first time, and this was Sterling Hoffrichter. He comes up to me and he goes, "Coach, the new kicker is really good." I'm like, "Which kicker?" He points to Andre. I said, "You're my kicker." He goes, "Coach, he's really good." I said, "Well, how good is he?" And Sterling said, "He's better than me." And when he said that, I looked at Sterling and I said, "He's not better than you until I say he's better than you." He says, "Coach, he's good." I said, "All right, we'll let him kick next time, not this time." And then Andre comes up and he kicks the next time. And we have a camera. I've talked to you guys about this. We have the goalpost on our field, and we have a camera right in the middle to take pictures. And he comes up the first time, he kicks, and he hits the camera. The camera the bar is as small as this is. And he hits the bar in the middle of the goalpost. And then we move the ball to the right hash, and he hits the pole again. And then we kick some more kicks. We go to the left hash, and he hits the pole. I had never seen that before. And Sterling's looking at me, and he says, I told you. And that was his freshman year. And about, I don't know, 10, 12 days later, he was our kicker. And I can still remember after 4 weeks, I think it was about 4 weeks deep in the season, the way he was kicking. I'm like, this guy, we got to give him a scholarship. And I can still, I won't say to coaches. Some coaches were like, well, let's wait at the end of the year. Let's see. I mean, he could just be on a streak and he could bottom out. And I'm going to take credit for this one. I looked at him and I said, I am not going to be the dumb coach that has some kicker that turns into an All-American that's not on scholarship. I said, we're putting him on scholarship right now. And it was about 4 weeks in, and that's the year that he won the Lugosa. So we think the world of Andre. He's funny, he's unique, and he's our kicker.
If you could go into that kind of detail on this, I'd appreciate it. Why did you decide this was the week to kick Aaron back inside at center and have Vettorello and Tisdale kind of rotating at tackle? One
is depth, okay, because we're finding out exactly how many guys that we think we can go to, in the ACC and stuff. So we wanted to build some depth with that, and we think that some of those guys can play some other positions. So we want to check out the combinations. But I thought it went okay in there. I thought it looked all right.
Now, be honest here. When you sent the field goal unit out on the first drive of the game, did you hear the crowd reaction?
Sure did.
And did that influence you calling the timeout and then putting the offense back on the field on the 4th and 3?
I can't remember. I thought the ball moved or something weird happened. Didn't something weird happen? That's what I can't. That's what happened. Albany called a timeout and they ran their guys back out there. And then I started looking at it and I said, we can go for this. Let's do this. So I knew something happened. We were going to run the field goal team out there, but something happened that stopped the action, which gave me another look at it. Okay.
We're going to hit the TVs and back, so Tommy, then Mark, then Mario right across the back.
Is it me?
Tommy, go ahead, yep.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
I know you, Tommy, because you're tall.
Nothing personal.
That was quick.
But Coach, we all week it was the talk about the need for that offense to come out, the need to be scoring points against this team. From what you saw in the first quarter and what you were able to see with Sean Tucker, once he started getting moving, did you have it in your head on when you would be pulling him?
No, offense is like a pencil. You can write with a dull point, but you write a lot better with a fine point. And some of the young people are saying, what's a pencil? I know I'm getting this right now, but we need to fine tune some things. And I was okay letting them go a little bit. Those guys are in good shape, and I think we let him go all the way to the third quarter before he pulled him out. But it was important for the offensive line to feel him. It comes down to timing and feel and stuff like that. And, it's going to be uphill from here. So this was an opportunity for us to fine-tune some things and play a good opponent that was tough. They hit us. They were physical. They were really hitting out there. But that timing is really important, and that's what we were trying to get today.
Coach, very familiar with number 2 pencils, so got you on that. The fact you won this game so convincingly, scored 62. Obviously, it's not, Florida State or somebody out there, but does it say anything about your team? Do you feel good about that?
It's again, it wasn't about the points, because normally in these games I would play this game a different way and be, just a different way. I'll leave that as the statement. But we needed to take a good look at 2 cats, and we needed to do it without our own personnel. And we were rolling the dice and a lot of stuff too. Those guys could have got hurt, and we had some guys banged up. But it's important to get that done, because now we can't do it anymore. We have to know what we've got, and now we've got to rally the troops and get ready to finish out our season.
Does that mean next Friday we're not going to see both guys?
Say that again.
Does that mean next Friday we're not going to see both guys?
We're going to have to see. One guy is going to start, and let's see if he finishes.
Last 2 questions, starting with Mario.
2 guys that didn't play today, Taj and Garrett Williams. Status on them moving forward?
I would think that they should be good. Taj, we have to see. I think Garrett will be a green light go.
And then last question of the day, then
touched on the penalties. I think it was 4 holds, 4 false starts, 4 face masks.
Okay, stop. Give it to me again.
4 holds, 4
Go slow, because you're young.
4 holding penalties, 4 false starts, and then 4 face masks. If I'm not mistaken.
All right, go ahead. What's the question?
I guess you said it was freshmen, it was youth and stuff.
They weren't all freshmen.
Of course.
Like 67, 60. Go ahead.
How do you go about handling that? What do you tell your guys to sort of get rid of that match?
We talked about it at halftime. We talked about it at the end of the game. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. You know, that's too many. And some of the face masks are, we need to check, but normally that's a defensive guy playing high, tackling somebody that's shorter, and instead of bending his knees and dropping his pads and catching them, you know, underneath the chin, you know, they're just they're keeping their knees straight, and it's a height thing. Now, not crazy, one of those face masks was actually on Sean Tucker, where a guy came up and he stiff-armed him, but the guy moved his face. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean, I didn't even see you sitting there. Watch this. I seriously didn't see you sitting there. But normally I won't bring up a guy's name in this, but you got ex-running back. Let me share this with you. So normally he's going for the stiff arm, and the guy's coming up and he's going for the crown of the helmet, and the guy moved his face, which is irregular, which caught him into the face mask. So then it was an offensive face mask penalty. That was correct, right? That was what happened with your left hand, right? Not that detail's important. And I would notice something like that. So, you know, that's kind of a happening. I don't think it was anybody trying to hurt anybody or anything like that. It's just kind of how those 4 things happen. But those other ones, we'll discuss that with the family.